right now. Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of Let's Play. Another reading of The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia. I know I'm gonna do that 1,000 times. So notes before we begin. I decided this is a good idea to do this. Yeah, I remember. How this is gonna work is if I get to a new... There's 3 sections of this book. The World of Skyward Sword, the history of Hyrule, and concepts and execution, concept design, that part. I have a feeling we're gonna end the World of Skyward Sword in this video, and if we do, I'm probably gonna cut it short, because I do want to stick to the half-hour time limit, but I also want to keep this a little more easier to swallow, All right, so with that being said, we're going to begin with the Silent Realm in Skyward Sword. Silent Realm. The Silent Realm is a spiritual realm. Only those who have been chosen by the goddess are allowed to enter. In order to complete the Master Sword, Link must brave hitherto unknown challenges in a mysterious world that remains closed to outsiders. Monsters that haunt the surface. Not all residents of the surface are friendly. Some are subordinates of the Demon Kings from ancient wars. Since the demise of the Demon Kings, their numbers have multiplied, and now they are destroying the surface. Keese, or Bats, as the noobs like to call it. Thunder Keese final version, Dark Keese final version, Fire Keese final version, Rock final version, Phoenix final version, Gwei final version, Watcher final version, Guardian final version. The Guardians were designed to be guardians of the goddess, so their clothes are covered with designs that reference the Triforce. While we wanted them to be scary, they are not evil, and so we decided to give them neutral expressions. Kiyuchi, designer. Silent Realm and Twilight. Collecting the glowing sacred tears in the Silent Realm harks back to Twilight Princess, where the tears of light are assembled within the Vessel of Light in order to resurrect the spirits within. Dark Vanguard. Red Bokoblin, final version. Blue Bokoblin, and Green Bokoblin, final version. The initial designs look pretty cute, but we realized that if they look too cute, it would take the fun out of attacking them. So in order to make them look scarier, we sharpened their teeth and made their eyes smaller and narrower. Once we had the design for the first Bokoblin, the other types were developed from there. They are important players in many different places. Kiyuchi, designer. Technoblin, final version. Curse Bokoblin, final version. Moblin, final version. Again, if I'm going too fast for you, I suggest you pause the video if you want to look at the little subtitles and whatnot. But again, I do encourage you guys to have this book yourself. The Lizalfos carried his shield on his arm. We wanted to keep in mind which direction he's facing when he strikes with his armored arm, so that the player can attack from the opposite direction. For variety, we made left and right-handed versions. Kawanishi, designer. Dark Lizalfos, final version. Ocarina of Time Moblin, Wind Waker Bokoblin. Evolutions of the Moblin and the Bokoblin. The Bokoblin and the Moblin are familiar enemies that have appeared in other Zelda games. Their appearance and weapons they carry have evolved, but regardless of time, they never stop attacking Link. Lives lurking across the land. Deku Baba, final design. Skulltula. Octorok, final design. Spume, final design. Skullwatchula, final design. When designing the Deku Baba, we kept in mind the player's ability to be both vertical and vertical and horizontal attacks in this game, and incorporated that into the design to make fighting them more fun. We think that's one of the reasons Mr. Miyamoto liked it. When designing monsters, I think it's best to keep it simple and functional. In order to show the Spoom getting ready to spit magma, we thought it would be funny to make his body inflate, so we designed it with a frog-like appearance. Kawanishi, designer. The highly adaptable Octorok. Throughout the series, the Octoroks haven't changed much. In Skyward Sword, the versatile Octoroks imitate plants, but in Ocarina of Time, they're found in watery locations. This adaptability might answer the question of how they've been around so long. Arachna, final version. Ampelus, final version. Pyrup, final version. Froak, final version. I wonder if that's Froaky's inspiration. Choo Choo. Cranayak. Farronwood's flooded level, final version. Moldorm, final version. Cranayak, final version. With the Zelda games, we usually start kicking around the idea for the monsters first and design based on that. The Ampelus is a unique example. The design came from the idea of a shell that would easily traverse the desert quicksand. The weak spot on the Moldorm's rear end is modeled after a honey ant. The juice that sprays out from its weak spot when struck by a sword was based on an obsession of the effects designers. Laughs. Kawanishi designer. The Dead Warriors, Stalfos. As the Stalfos' physical stamina is depleted, he loses rib bones, until all that is left is his spine. Skirvo is an ancient pirate robot. We paid close attention in creating him to make sure this wasn't too confusing or distracting. There's an alternate version of Skirvo named Dreadfuse, where his pirate hat is simply switched into it with a crown. Kawanishi designer. Stallmaster, final version. Dreadfuse. Skirvo, final version. The Stalfos transformation. In Ocarina of Time, Stalfos have simple armor, a sword and a shield, but in Wind Waker they each carry a giant club. Their equipment changes with each title. Perhaps they wield the preferred weapon of their time. Ocarina of Time and Wind Wakers. Magical Beings. Magmanos, final version. Staldra, final version. Beamos, final version. Hate Beamos. Remnants of an Ancient Civilization. Armos, final version. Centropy, final version. And yeah, oh wow, that was really fast. And yes, that ends this video. This is gonna be probably the shortest video in the series. I did not expect that. As always, I never organized this. 25th anniversary special illustration. A special illustration created for the 25th anniversary. From the beginning of Skyward Sword, all the links are here. It sounds like I said something like, sounds like I said something, what's so weird, said something, internet related. I guess I can name everything. There's Goron Link, the Great Darmani. No, not Darmani. Well, there's Tattle, there's Navi, there's a fairy, that's Wolf Link. There's what was it? Why is it that whenever I record this series, I forget the name of the ocean creatures in the Zelda series, but I always remember it no matter where I am in the world. My God, this is gonna kill me. Well, you know. Yeah, there's Fierce Diary. Let's just move on. You guys will annoy me about it. You guys, not annoy me, I don't mean that. You guys will attack me about that in the comments. There's Navi again. There's a Wind Wake. There's a Spirit Tracks Fairy. There's... Alright, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. There's Skyward Sword Link. There's Ocarina of Time Adult Link. Well, that should be Link... Oracle of Seasons and Ages Link. There's Link from... what's the game? The Game Boy Advance title, which is very fun. I got it on the Wii U Virtual Console. I really like the game. It has to do with the Minish Cap, yes. Yeah, there's Link's Awakening, Link to the Past Link. No, that's sorry, it's Link 2. That's Legend of Zelda 2 Link. Four Swords, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. That's Spirit Tracks. Deku Link, or at the bottom. I feel bad for him. He's always separated from his family. That's the original Link from Legend of Zelda. There's Young Link, Majora's Mask. That should be... well, let's link in his clothes. I guess, yeah, I guess it's from Wind Waker. I haven't played, what's a DS title? I'm forgetting everything today. I I played... No, I have played the game. What was it? I haven't played Spirit Tracks, but I played the other one. Phantom Hourglass, yeah. See, this is a lovely illustration, and, oh, yeah, that's not Tattletale. These are just the 3 colors of the 3 goddesses. Nairu, Din, and Faror. But yeah, I love this, this trope Nintendo has with Zelda, with making these, movie-like, illustrations. And they mentioned in this book, too, I'm sure we'll see it, where, I love, the idea here where the idea first came from Ocarina of Time. They designed the posters to be movie-like, because, you know, it's supposed to be, like, the first cinematic-based, really hard, story-driven, game for Nintendo as a whole. It's really entertaining. But, we're now done with, the, Skyward Sword. The more I read this, honestly, the more dry I feel the first section is. I have to stress this, I appreciate that they start with the World Skyward Sword. Not only it was the most recent game for the time, but also it was a good way to introduce the world, because chronologically, Skyward Sword is the beginning of all time for Hyrule. At least the history of Hyrule. This is going to be the most text-heady part of the book. And then we'll go back to the speedy parts again, like this one in the concepts, the art concepts section of the book. The anime, not the anime, the manga section in the ends, I probably won't read again. I probably won't read. I probably will. I don't know. I gotta decide, but I'm glad we actually did have this extra time so I can talk about these things, because, you know, a series like this, you'd think it'd be easy to organize, but it's really not. Like, it takes a lot of thought. It's like you really have to really pay attention and concentrate, which I as you know from my upload schedule, I do not have the time for that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's something that's really great doing anyway. I really do enjoy this book, though. Definitely buy it. That's all I have to say on that. If you made it this far, God, congratulations. But yeah, the history of Hyrule... spoilers. Okay. The history of Hyrule... I keep forgetting that when it's fully out, it'll turn the page for me. No! Alright. Yeah, but anyway, enough teasing. The history of Hyrule is really great. It answers a lot, and I guess I'll go through this rant again. I'm probably going to go through it in the first... when I come back with the video game analysis board, but... anyone who has beef with the timeline, I think you're bogus. I'm sorry, but you're acting like a spoiled brat. I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult anybody. And if you don't disagree with it, that's fine. But don't be such a jerk and hate the timeline Nintendo gave you. Because, seriously, 25 years of Zelda. Everyone's saying, we need a timeline. What's wrong with you guys? And I think that mostly because timeline theorists probably feel like more useless now. I mean, nowadays, timeline theorists, what they do is they'll just try to figure out where in a game, where a new Zelda title will be in the timeline before it's officially announced. And there's those ones that just have to stick to their ideas, but it's like, oh my god, it's so bogus. Look, even Nintendo in this book say they know it's not perfect. They did what they could, and I think they did a great job for what it was. I just want to go into this. I always like going into this section explaining this to people. And I'm sorry, if you don't like it, then... my opinion here, then I don't disagree with you. If you don't like it, fine. I really don't care, but don't go on and say, oh, God, Nintendo, this is what you give us after asking for a timeline for so long. Something Nintendo didn't even want to do, because each Zelda game was supposed to have, like, a different story to tell based on the same lore, you know? But, you know, I mean, like the Twilight Princess origin story of the universe that was rewritten from the Ocarina of Time and all, but that's enough for my rant. I think we spent a good amount of time here, so thank you all so much for watching. I've been Billy, your Video Game Analyzer. Have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.